The first sign was not a distress call. It was a gap. Across several Aelaryn outer systems, communication streams went silent at once. Research telemetry stopped updating. Civilian traffic beacons vanished from navigation maps. Entire colonies that had spoken continuously for decades simply ceased to exist as active. In galactic space, silence is never accidental. It means surrender. Or it means death. Within the chambers of the Galactic Council, the loss was noticed, logged, and categorized as a regional instability. Analysts flagged the affected systems as non-critical. No major trade lanes were disrupted. No core worlds were threatened. The Council observed. And chose not to speak. Because everyone already knew what silence like this meant. The Drogon Ascendancy was moving again. The Drogon Ascendancy did not call itself an empire. It called itself a correction. To the Drogon, the galaxy had grown inefficient. Too many weak civilizations. Too many cultures surviving only because no one had yet tested them. In their doctrine, survival was proof of worth. Anything less was failure postponed. They believed conquest was not cruelty. It was natural selection accelerated. Drogon fleets never announced themselves. They arrived without broadcast, without negotiation, without spectacle. Their ships were dark, angular, and grown rather than built, as if layered from hardened scales instead of metal plates. They did not attack capitals first. They removed the edges. Outposts. Research stations. Civilian shipyards. Communication relays. They dismantled coordination before resistance could form. A civilization did not fall when its home world burned. It fell when it realized it was alone. The Aelaryn Concord was never built for war. They were not an empire, nor a unified state. They were a voluntary concord of worlds and habitats bound by shared values. Mediation. Cultural exchange. Scientific cooperation. Stability through understanding. Their ships explored more than they fought. Their stations welcomed visitors instead of repelling enemies. Their colonies existed to learn, not to extract or dominate. They had defenses, but only enough to discourage piracy and accidents. Their doctrine assumed that open communication prevented escalation. It worked. Until it didn't. The Aelaryn believed that mutual dependence made large-scale war irrational. The Drogon did not believe in rationality. They believed in results. The first Aelaryn colonies fell quietly. Communication relays failed in synchronized patterns. Power grids collapsed seconds later. Civilian transports vanished mid-route, their last signals cut off before alarms could be transmitted. At first, Aelaryn analysts suspected cascading technical failure. By the third lost colony, denial became impossible. Then the Drogon struck Hallowspire Station. Hallowspire was not a fortress. It was a symbol. A diplomatic and research hub where cultures met, languages were decoded, and misunderstandings were prevented before they became wars. The station had evacuation protocols. They did not matter. Drogon kinetic lances pierced structural nodes with surgical precision. Atmosphere vented through entire habitat rings in minutes. Fires followed. Emergency corridors collapsed. Over 400,000 died before rescue craft could even approach. The Aelaryn broadcast distress across every channel they had. The galaxy heard them. The Council did nothing. The Galactic Council's silence was not ignorance. It was calculation. The attacked systems were not supreme members. Intervention required consensus. Consensus required debate. Debate required time. Time the Aelaryn did not have. Some council members argued intervention would provoke larger war. Others privately concluded the Aelaryn were an acceptable loss. A tragic one, but manageable. If the council acted and failed, its authority would fracture. So it recorded the deaths, expressed regret in closed sessions, and allowed the Drogon to continue. The council governed balance, not justice. And balance favored inaction. Humanity occupied an unusual position. Earth was not a Supreme Council member. The United Earth Federation held observer status only. No veto. No obligation to act. To most species, humans were an unknown variable. They defended their borders with unsettling discipline. Their patrol patterns were precise. Their responses immediate. They never expanded aggressively, never threatened the council, never fired first. And yet, every civilization that tested them learned the same lesson. If attacked, humans responded decisively. Not emotionally. Procedurally. Galactic archives contain very little combat data on humanity in inter-species wars. Humans had avoided large conflicts, ending skirmishes quickly and withdrawing. That absence of data made analysts nervous. Civilizations were easier to understand when they sought conquest. Humans sought boundaries. What the Council archives rarely mentioned was the Aelaryn's role in humanity's early expansion. Quiet assistance. Translation matrices that prevented first contact incidents. Cultural briefings that avoided diplomatic mistakes. Navigation corrections that kept human vessels out of disputed space. The Aelaryn never publicized this help. They believed cooperation should not create debt. But humans remembered. And humans kept ledgers the galaxy never saw. As Drogon fleets closed in on remaining Aelaryn worlds, the Concord kept sending formal appeals to the Galactic Council. They received procedural delays from the Council. Then Aelaryn's made a different move. A direct transmission was sent to a United Earth Federation relay. It was not political. It was personal. Audio fragments from Halospire's dying corridors. Visual snapshots of shattered habitats. Civilian casualties counted in silence. And one request, translated into plain human language. We helped you survive among them. We cannot stop this. Please. We know you are not obligated. The relay officer forwarded the message without comment. UEF Command reviewed it once. There was no dramatic debate. No public speech. Only reference to doctrine. The United Earth Federation would not fire first under any circumstances. But if attacked, the response would be overwhelming and exemplary. One question mattered. Had the Aelaryn asked for help? They had. That was enough. Orders moved through secure channels. A protective task force was authorized. Evacuation corridors. Orbital denial. Non-aggression posture. Do not fire first. The Drogon Ascendancy expected surrender. They did not expect intervention. And when their sensors detected a fleet at the edge of Aelaryn space, it was not a council force. It was human. Federation blue hulls. Perfect formation. No broadcast. No threats. Just presence. A line drawn in silence. On surviving Aelaryn networks, emergency beacons flickered as human ships took position between them and the near extinction. Aelaryn leaders transmitted a formal greeting, exhausted and afraid. The UEF response was simple. United Earth Federation Initial Task Force has arrived. Maintain evacuation routes. We will not fire first. But you will not face them alone. It was an open communication. Drogon Ascendancy heard it. Galaxy heard it. In the Galactic Council chambers, projections shifted. For the first time since the Drogon advance began, uncertainty appeared in the models. The conquerors had encountered something unfamiliar. A civilization that did not seek war, but did not fear it. Humanity had come to help a friend. And the galaxy was about to learn what human restraint truly meant.
Don't forget to subscribe.